La tseba gore di ngata jwang dintho tse o tshwanetseng re be motlotlo ka tsona mo setjhabeng sa rona South Africa. Ebile nna ke bone ka o tshwanetse re be number 1 ha o tla ko di-innovations le di-inventions tsa rona tse ile horeng di sebetsa mafatsheng a fapaneng. Ke le jwetsa ka bo di-automatic pool cleaners, ke le jwetsa ka bo di-CAT scanners, bo di-Prickly Party le di-Dolo sea barriers. Le bona kaofela dintho tse ke le jwetsang ka tsona di entswe hona mona hae. Rona ma-Afrika re tswela pele ka ho makatsa lefatshe ka di-innovative ideas le di-inventions tsa rona haholo tse thusang ka hara di-community tsa rona. Ke a le bona gore le batla ho tseba gore ke bua kang. Taba ke eo. Ka jeno lena re qala ka ho tjhakela Betha Center ka lebaka la di-social innovation le entrepreneurship ko UCT. Ha re fetsa moo re lo bua le di-social entrepreneurs tse ding tsa mona South Africa. Ba ile horeng bona ba etsa hore setjhaba sena sa rona sa South Africa ebe setjhaba se leng hore se betere hore re phele ko teng ka ho etsa di-innovations le di-inventions tsa bona. Re qetelle ka ho tjhakela Mmabatho Mokete ye le horeng yena o kgolwa hore mona setjhabeng sa rona sa South Africa re hloka di-inventions tse le horeng di entswe ke batho ba rona ba mona Africa for batho ba rona ba mona Africa. Re qala ka ho tjhakela Betha Center ka lebaka la social innovation le entrepreneurship ko UCT. Re lo batlisisa hore hobaneng di-center tse tshwanang le Betha Center di hlokahala ka hara di-community tsa rona. Re phete re batlisise hore hobaneng bona ba ikemiseditse hakalo hore ba thuse ka ho advance social innovation le entrepreneurship mo setjhabeng sa rona sa South Africa. Ha re qeta moo ebe re ba botsa hore hobaneng ba bona ho le bohlokwa hore bona ba thuse setjhaba sena sa rona. So, Mr. Francois, please tell us, why are social innovators and inventors important in a country like South Africa?
Because we have some huge social challenges, and yet we have the talented skills and people who can come up with innovations and inventions and apply them to some of our social challenges. And we need citizens to be addressing the challenges they see around them. We can't expect government to do everything for us. We're on the ground, we see the challenges, and yet we have the resources. So we need to be the inventors of our own future.
So what does the Centre do to uncover, connect, pioneer and advance social innovators and entrepreneurs?
We were established 4 years ago, the Bertha Center for Social Innovation and Social Entrepreneurship at UCT's Graduate School of Business, to really pay attention to the challenges social entrepreneurs have in developing their inventions and innovations and building the business models to actually implement them. One thing is to have the innovation, the other thing is actually how do you implement it. It's great to have a good idea, but you actually need to make it work if we want to see the impact in communities.
What we'd also like to know is how can innovations and inventions be benefiting the wider community?
In a number of ways. So innovations and inventions are not only about products. They could be products, it could be a service, it could be a new way of delivering healthcare, for example. Often these things are enabled by technology, but it's not only about technology. So people need to think of themselves as innovators, even if they create new relationships in South Africa. That is an innovation, and actually somewhere where we need a lot of innovation is new kinds of partnerships and different kinds of communities working together. But it's important for us to change our mindset about the social challenges in our country and see it in the same way that a normal lab innovator would. Here's a problem, how can I be creative about solving it? Where do I find the resources? Where do I find the support? Where do I find the people? Where do I find the money to actually implement and try out this new idea and test it out? And that's what someone in a lab would do. But we really want to stretch this concept of innovation that can empower a normal person to think of themselves as a change maker.
So, Francois, there's somebody out there sitting at home and watching us right now who has a great idea but does not know how to develop it. Where can they go for support?
Look around you and see who else is doing it. Try and find if anyone's done it before. And often we can learn a lot from that. Then there are places throughout the country, so universities starting to take notice of this. We've been really interested in our students working with people who have good ideas to help them develop it further. So that's one route. We also see a number of incubators starting in South Africa. Initially we're around technology, but now also around social impact. And so there are support programs developed for it. If your idea is fleshed out a bit further, there are also funding sources for it. So SAB Foundation have a large innovation and actually a social innovation award program. The IDC, the Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa, has a large fund for social enterprises. So there are increasingly new forms of support.
Ka mora dipapatso re lo kopana le di-innovators bona ba tlo go jwetsa hore di-inventions tsa bona di etsa jwang bophelo ba rona bo be bonolo mona Mzansi Africa. Dulang fela gola moo ra gutla. Re lo bua le David Klapman ke ena e entseng fire detection device e bitswang ka hore ke Lumkani. Lumkani thusa batho ba dulang mekhukhung hore ba tsebe hore mollo wa qala ka mo next door kapa mona hae. Ha re fetsa moo re lo bua le batho ba dulang ko di-community tsa mekhukhu ba re jwetse bona hore Lumkani yona e ba thusitse jwang. We are here today to speak to Mr. David Klapman, who is the director of Lumkani. This is where they produce fire detectors. These fire detectors help our communities across Africa to detect fires early, especially in our informal settlements. So, David, where did the idea of Lumkani come from, and what was the inspiration behind it?
So I suppose the inspiration behind the Lumkani device was around the intense shack fires that we have in South Africa. So thought to himself, let me set this as a thesis topic for one of my engineering honors graduates. So Francois Petusi, my co-founder, and that senior lecturer, Samuel Ginsberg, began, creating the theory for what would become the Lumkani device that we see today. It was obviously very theoretical at first, but then we moved into a very practical space where we started then building out this technology and engaging our market, and all the rest is history.
So how did you go about inventing the fire detection unit, and how long did it take?
So we have 3 engineers in the team. So a lot of it is laboratory work. A lot of it is you go through a number of iterations of the device. You're testing on a field, and then you're testing in a community, and you're doing a live sound test at 1 o'clock in the morning to ensure that the device is loud enough to wake people when they're sleeping. And then the big final test is when you're live in the community, and now the thing must just work. So it's lab work, but it's also a lot of community work and a lot of back and forth. And how do we design this? Which features do we love? Which features do we need to change? And then you come out with the product which you believe, and that has been kind of verified from your customer and your community that this is the thing that'll work.
And how many communities have been able to benefit from the Lumkani?
So we're now in about 4,800 households, and that's spread across more than 10 communities, more than 12 communities. So yeah, that's the kind of spread that we're in at the moment, and that's across Cape Town, Johannesburg, and a community in Namibia as well.
Sawona Putlive njani? Nathi siphilile. Silana ukuzofunisisa kabanzi ngalento ebizwa ngokuthi Lumkani. Sifuna ukwazi ukuthi wena udlala yiphi indima kule company Lumkani nale product.
Indaweni endidlalayo mna ndidlala indima yokuba ndidibanise uLumkani nabahlali.
Okay, so isikhathi singakanani usebenza neLumkani?
Ndine 5 months ngoku.
So sase fresh nje kule game.
Yeah.
Okay, bese cela ukuthi usifake ngaphansi usibonise yona nokuthi isebenza kanjani.
Okay, akho ngxaki.
Okay, siyabonga. Oh, so Putlive yiyo yona le.
Yiyo le device.
Okay, bese tshela ukuthi mhlawumbe ifakwa kanjani la ekhaya?
I-device ifakwa i-meter awe yaphophekela khona. Yakona. Ukuze ba ingafumani la lamla nolamsi wakhona. Yeah, because yawucinga umlilo.
Okay, isebenza kanjani ke yona?
Umsebenzi wayo la light ubona i-light ayo phaya? Actually i-sensor leyana ne. Iva uqondo obunyukileyo. Ngendlela ephakamileyo. Yeah.
So iyakubona makube kunomlilo.
Nomlilo so, yeah.
Okay, so makube kunomlilo bese iyenza njani yona?
Okay, iyakhala ke la device nekhala into ende then xa kucha kumakhelwane ikhala in a different tone emva kwe 20 seconds ikhala so ichaza ukuthi ikhona ingxaki etenzeka abakufutshane kunawo.
Okay, so mangwami eyam izongitshela ukuthi umakhelwane kuyasha ngakumakhelwane
Ewe, zwele.
yokhala ithi
Yes,
oh okay besacela usichazela ukuthi abantu abanjani abayitholayo i-distributor kuyindawo ezinjani
Well, indawo abantu abahlala ematyotyombeni kakhulu because we work with amatyotyombeni kakhulu or informal settlements and then kakhona i-NGOs ziyazithenga ukuthi i-devices and then ke usisidistribute ke ngokwi-areas nge-areas abo basifuna khona.
Oh
Yeah,
siyabonga hayi
Yes.
siphinde sibabongele futhi abantu bethu bomphakathi ukuthi basizwa yini
Inkosi kakhulu.
sibonge kakhulu nathi Book Live
Okay.
sanibonani ninjani nathi siphilile kakhulu bengisacela ukuthi nizi-introduce nizichaze futhi ukuthi nidlala yiphi indima kulo mphakathi lona
Okay, ndiyinkokheli yalapha and sikhokhela konke ukuhlala nabanye nozayo so senza ii-communities ukuba zikwazi into yoba zizenzele ukwenzela into yokuba zibe organized ukwenzela xa kufika ii-NGO ezithile ezinjengolumkani zibe free for ukuba abantu ba-catch up easy.
okay wena sisi udlala yiphi indima la emphakathini
Okay, mina ke ndinguzimasa ndingumanyala malali fine ndihlala apha eMasilunge ndisebenza nosisi uLindiwe uRhalaghala ndihamba naye sisebenza sobabini but yena uyi-coordinator yam mna ke ndincedisana nolumkani sihambe si-installa ilantuka i-fire devices ezi
okay so njengoba banifakele ulumkani kulo mphakathi wenu lo nifila ngathi niphephile njengoba ikhona la endlini nifila ngathi niphephe kakhulu manje senazi ngomlilo ukuthi uza nini na kanjani
sesincedakele kakhulu ngolumkani kuba amatyotyombe ethu ngoku awasatshi kuba ke ukhe yakhala sesiyazi ukuthi ikhona into eyenzekayo then uyasukuma uphume phandle ujonge ukuthi kweliphi icala ikude kangakanani nakuwe
okay so kulo mphakathi lona owenu wonke umuntu abomakhelwane benu bonke banayo ulumkani
Banayo.
and bayayisebenzisa bayayijabulela
Bayayijabulela.
okay and nizwe kanjani ngelumkani obani ontshele ngayo nizwe kanjani indaba yakhona
baye bona bazazisa eofisini then usisilindiwe waza kuthi thina bahlali baqale saxelela abahlali and then abahlali baye bayithanda ngolohlobo so yaqala pha kubo eofisini
From ISN side.
from ISN side informal settlement network that's ISN yes.
Jwale re tjhakela Blue Mountain Primary School ko Durbanville re lo bua le subs ambassador Liza Edlam o tlo re jwetsa ka product ya hae innovative e thusang banyana ba bangata ba khutlang ko mahaeng a fokolang bagaeso re mona fela re fitlile ebile re thabile re mo ko Blue Mountains Primary School re na le mosadi ba mbitsang ka go ke Liza Edlam ke ena ambassador ya subs o tlo go jwetsa go o thusa jwang banyana ba mona setšhabeng sa rona sa South Africa Liza may you please tell us a bit more about subs and the work that you do
Wel, SABS is 'n maatskappy wat vir meisies wasbare, herbruikbare sanitêre doekies verskaf. En die hoofrede is omdat baie meisies glad nie sanitêre produkte kan bekostig nie of hulle bly baie ver van winkels af in die diep landelike areas en dan kan hulle net eenvoudig nie by die pakkies uitkom nie.
and what we'd also like to know is that what are your hopes and dreams for the future for subs
Ons hoop is om al die meisies in Suid-Afrika te help. Daar is 7 miljoen meisietjies wat nie pakkies het nie, so daar is 'n groot behoefte. So ons wil elke meisie help. En ons wil graag 'n model ontwikkel wat sustainable is sodat mense skole kan aanneem en sê maar ons gaan elke jaar vir hierdie skooltjie help. Ons het die Blue Mountain skool laas jaar gehelp met fondse wat ons ingesamel het en al die meisies het pakkies gekry. Hierdie jaar het die Tygerberg Mountain Bike Club geld geskenk, so ons gaan die nuwe graad 4 meisies help. Maar ons soek gemeenskappe, ons soek skole, ons soek maatskappye wat sal sê maar ons sal vir Blue Mountain vat en elke jaar fondse insamel vir hulle, dan weet ons Blue Mountain is forever gehelp.
ba gaeso yena ke Ayanda Mokgwekeana ke mongwe wa baruti ba balang mona ko Blue Mountains Primary School yena o tlo go jwetsa ka mokgwa subs e mo thusitseng ka teng. Ayanda isacela ukuthi usitshele ukuthi le product le exisize kanjani wena empilweni yakho.
Incede ukuseva imali endlini nokuthenga ukutya nempahla nalapha esikolweni xa kukho izinto nami ndizakwazi uba kuzo ndicela imali endlini ibe khona.
Okay ke bese usitshela ukuthi uzwe kanjani ngale product le nokuthi uyifumane wena uyifumane kanjani.
Our subs company came to our school and gave us those pads and show us how it is used. Friends also use it. Koda uchomwam always complain about the smell of the blood. But ndandamxelela ukuba makasebenzise isepha enzele kusuke elavumba eliyana and then aphinda I spill it out and then ngambonisa noba ufuneke ayihenge njani.
Okay sibonge kakhulu yentombazana.
Okay.
Jwale re tseleng ya rona ya ho ya Pitori re lo kopana le Shelton Motho ye le reng o butse company ya hae e bitswang ka hore ke Epoch Microchips. Bana beso re mona fela re fitlile e bile re thabile re dutse le abuti Shelton Motho ke na tla go jwetsang ka di innovations le di inventions tsa gae. Abuti Shelton ne re kopa re jwetse ka mbereko o wetsang le ka wena background ya gago.
Mosebetsi wa rena ke wa wireless charging. Sile ka lemoa hore mo moyeng hona le energy e loreng re ka tap into hore re charge di smartphone, tablet, eventually di laptop. So re tlile ka a type of a bag e loreng e sa developiwa ke yona re tlo e dirisang go charger those particular devices per time and location.
Ntwe e inspireileng gore o bule company e ne le eng?
He nako ntse e tsamaya e be ke nna le problem ya laptop le cell phone di ntse di fella ke battery ne ntseng irritate but e be ke re solution e ka nna eng then next say go for my company by then ebe idea ntse grow ebe ke thoma batla di funds ebe ba mbutse gore ke register a company then like that up until now.
And Shelton ne re kopa gore o re jwetse ka di products tse una leng tsona le gore di bereka jwang in detail.
Bege e tshwanang le laptop mara yona e differ le tse ding because it's na le di charging capabilities mo yona ya electronics. So a user auto user USB ya high a compatible USB ke yona tlo e plugang mo baking ena le USB slot and then tlabenze harvest that energy to power the device hence o tsamaya o ira whatever you doing during the day or office. The product e harvest that energy through the antenna rectification amplification and then the source so the process of the circuit is lined up within that particular bag.
Ne re kopa go jwetsa ka menahano ya hao ha o tla ko di innovators tsa mona Mzansi o nahana hore re na le tsona di innovators tse enough le gore ba etsa mesebetsi e metle.
In terms of innovation in South Africa, I think we're doing good. If we visited this the exhibitions at the science and innovation, that's quite a lot of young people who are incredible in the pipeline. So my concern is quality, not quantity. So we must have quality and quantity. So we might have quantity, a very like a quality. So if we focus too much on getting high quality innovations, still already solve our problems daily, then I think we're now on the right track. Okay. But we have people with great brains out there.
Kamera dipapatso re lo kopana le mmabatho mokete dulang fela hona mo le skela tsamaya ka hore ga gutla. Ha se mo he ba gaeso re mona fela re fitlile e bile re thabile ke dutse le Mmabatho Mokete ya ileng founder ya Mathemaniacs. Ka jeno lena yena o tlo re jwetsa gore o thusa jwang batjha ba rona ba mona setjhabeng sa South Africa ba ile reng ba disadvantage ka dithuto tsa bona tsa maths. Ne re kopa gore hlalosetse ka yona gore ke eng Mathemaniacs le gore o bereka le batho ba jwang o etsa mosebetsi o jwang.
So Mathemaniacs, crazy about maths, ke education consulting company. So STEM ibile science, technology, engineering, maths. And what it does is that we design CSI programs for corporates. By law, every company in South Africa, if it makes a certain profit, if 1% of profit to a charitable cause or a worthy cause. So now what we do is that we approach corporates and we work on their strategy. Instead of when penta school and then penta school and making a classroom bright, it will change our life, it won't. So we say invest in a sustainable project. So whether it be building a science lab, educator training, extra lessons. And I've always thought to myself, you know what, it takes 101 from to be educated, to break that cycle of poverty.
Ekaba o nahana hore mona setjhabeng sa rona re hloka di-innovations le di-inventions tse le hore di entswe ke batho ba mona setjhabeng sa rona for batho ba mona South Africa?
No, of course, we need that a lot. And I think the thing about innovation, but is that everyone thinks that innovation is even out of nowhere, that nobody else has ever ayeta. Innovation is also improving something there already, existing. Our youth needs to look at ways new ways of improving maphelo a rona.
Ekaba o nahana hore ho hlokomela lerato la hao for di-science le di-maths le di-social entrepreneurship
yes and no, right? As we don't grow up in an environment where the entrepreneurship around us. You know, we've brought up in an environment where then university, you know, they don't encourage entrepreneurship because it's risky. So I'd say to definitely, you know, think of entrepreneurship, think of ways how you can improve not only bupilo but bupilo of your community.
Mona setjhabeng sa rona wena ha o shebile re na le talente e holo na ke hore fela ha re so e hlokomele le hore ha re so e bone.
Definitely. Re na le talente e ngata mo South Africa. Now I'm fortunate enough hore ke na le lehlohonolo hore I work around rural schools a lot and I go into them and I see bana who are making inventions to make their own lives easier. And it's an invention, they're not even thinking about business. It's just a way to improve and do the things they do much easier. Until somebody like me walks in and says, hey, what's about Turkey business? And it's a chaleta out of it. Then it sparks something, right? But now, who mentors them into that process? I'd say too, Bana, they must just explore things, research. You know, and research doesn't mean to have to be you traveling out, you know. We live in a world where everything is accessible on our phones. So I'd say to them, they must really cultivate that they mustn't stop dreaming because everything is possible.
Hasimo he bana beso ba Mzansi wa bona ka jeno lena le tla be le bua maka ha le ka ha ona ntwe le ithutileng yona ka gore episode ya ka jeno e re bontshitse ka mkgo mona setjhabeng sa rona sa Mzansi South Africa re na le batho ba bangata ba na le ditalente tsa gore ba tshudise setjhaba sena ka ho ba di-innovators le di-inventors tsa rona ebile batho bana ba re thusa ka gore re tswele pele ka o makatsa lefatshe lohle ka di-innovative ideas le di-inventions tsa rona hape ba hlohlelletsa le batjha ba rona hore ba ithute ba ye sekolong hore ba tle ba kgone hore ba tshwane le bona ka bokamoso ke a tseba bogata ba rona re so qete o qoqa re santsane re batla o bua ka dipuo tsena ha re kopane ko Facebook le ko Twitter re tla ba ga kopana beke tlang kana ko itseng ene le ska le balang Mzansi ha re bueng.